let's talk about the hidden science that powers one of the most common things you own. And believe it or not, it all comes down to a really mind-bending idea from over 100 years ago. It's a secret hiding inside what you could call Einstein's hidden compass.
So, what if the device you're probably watching this on right now is, in a very real way, a time machine? I know it sounds like something out of a movie, but it's actually fundamental to how our modern world works.
And it all starts right there, with the thing in your hand, your own little pocket time machine. Because inside that phone is a tiny chip that does something incredible, connecting you to a cosmic secret that's been hiding in plain sight this whole time.
But to really get this, we can't just look at the phone itself. We have to look up, way up. This brings us to a really interesting problem high above us, where clocks orbiting the Earth just don't play by the same rules we do. We're talking about the Global Positioning System, or GPS. It's this whole network of satellites, right? They're orbiting about 20,000 kilometers above us, moving at thousands of kilometers an hour. And they are constantly beaming signals down to your phone to tell it exactly where you are on the planet. Okay, but here's the wild part. Up there in space, time is in this kind of cosmic tug of war. Because the satellites are moving so fast, their clocks actually slow down just a tiny bit. But, and this is the important part, because they're so far away from Earth's gravity, their clocks also speed up, and by a lot more. The gravity effect wins. Which means for those satellites, time literally ticks by faster than it does for us down here. It's one of those bizarre, totally counterintuitive facts about our universe. Every clock here on Earth is ticking along at one speed, but the super precise atomic clocks on those satellites are ticking just a little bit ahead. So the big question is, how much faster are we really talking about here? The difference is just 38 microseconds a day. A microsecond is 1/1,000,000th of a second. I mean, it's an amount of time so ridiculously small you could never, ever possibly notice it. So why on earth does it matter? Well, it matters a whole lot. Because that tiny, almost non-existent difference in time creates what we can call the 10-kilometer glitch. It's this seemingly small error that would cause a massive, massive problem back here on Earth. And it would make our navigation systems totally useless. You see, for GPS to even work, it needs to measure the time it takes for a signal to travel from a few different satellites down to your phone. It uses that timing data to triangulate your exact position. The whole system, the entire thing, is built on perfect timing. So what do you think happens when the clocks you're depending on are all running just a little bit fast, even by just a few millionths of a second? Normally, the system works perfectly, right? You get that perfect, reassuring little blue dot on your map telling you exactly where you are, guiding you to where you need to go. But if we couldn't fix that 38 microsecond drift, the calculations would be completely thrown off. Your location would start to wander. That little blue dot would glitch and drift away until it was just totally unreliable.
How unreliable are we talking? Well, after just one day, that tiny little time difference would cause a navigational error of, get this, 10 kilometers. Yeah, imagine trying to find a coffee shop and your phone thinks you're on the other side of town. The whole system would just be broken.
But obviously, our GPS isn't broken. So how in the world was this problem solved? Well, the answer is what we'll call Einstein's cosmic fix, a solution that came from the mind of a genius more than 100 years ago.
The incredible thing is when this problem was actually solved. The fix for this futuristic space-age technology was figured out way, way before GPS was even a dream. It was figured out by Albert Einstein. He called it relativity, and it's basically a set of rules that describe how speed and gravity mess with the flow of time. For what we're talking about, you can just think of it as the universe's instruction manual, a manual that tells us exactly how to correct for those fast-ticking clocks up in space.
So the process is this really elegant two-step fix. First, Einstein's equations don't just say, hey, time will move faster. They predict the exact amount, that 38 microsecond gain every single day. And then, engineers built that exact mathematical correction right into the GPS system, which is constantly telling the satellite clocks to slow down, just enough to match us perfectly here on Earth. So let's bring all this home. This isn't just a story about satellites and clocks. It's about your map and his universe, and how this grand cosmic theory ends up right in the palm of your hand. What this all means is that the theory of relativity isn't some abstract, high-level concept just for scientists studying black holes or people writing sci-fi movies. It has a real, practical, everyday job. It is, quite simply, the invisible engine that makes your maps work. Without applying Einstein's theory every single second of every single day, GPS would completely fail. Period. So the next time you pull up directions or you see that little blue dot perfectly tracking your car down the street, just remember this. You are actively using a fundamental theory about the nature of space and time itself. You're living in Einstein's universe every single time you find your way home.
And it kind of leaves you wondering, right? If a secret this big is hiding inside your phone, what other secrets of the universe are we using every single day without even having a clue? What else is just hiding in plain sight?